Thrill me.
I'm gonna name you Kodo. You get a name too, Podo.
His name is Happy Harry Hardon. He's a total sex maniac.
Of course.
Welcome, everybody, to the first Q's and T's installment of Season 3 of the Unkind Rewind, where each week we dive into our guests' past with a movie that they have not seen in often decades. And then we rewatch it and see how it held up, which often it's not good. Not well. It didn't hold up well. Sometimes it does, though. Sometimes it surprises us. We don't pick movies solely to excoriate them or just, laugh and shit on them. As always, I'm Josh Dugan, your host. I'm joined by my co-host, Sean McGrath. Sean, how are things?
Things are good. I just finished a little stint working over at the New York Independent Film Fest.
Nice.
Small I on independent. These are things I doubt you will ever hear of.
Okay.
And it precedes the Tribeca Film Fest here in New York, which are going to be things that you probably can't not hear about.
Yeah, that they're rolling out Oscar campaigns for.
Yeah. Tribeca's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Is De Niro's like directly involved with Tribeca Film Festival, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he
was in the beginning at least.
He's got to still be, getting a check, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's sitting on some dais of judges, but
sure,
he's definitely involved. I would bet $100 that he's not looking over submissions.
No.
Sitting there with his laptop and a bunch of unlisted Vimeo links.
Yeah.
Just going through filmmaker submissions. But yeah, I'm sure he's involved. I'm sure he's, his name's on some board.
Did you see anything you liked?
I saw a really weird movie called In the Name of Fire, I want to say. And it's North Indian. It's shot in black and white.
Okay.
Except for maybe the last 10 minutes. And it's this very poor couple with a newborn. And the father has to go into town. I don't know what town it is. And make some money. And he's just hustling, right? He's he does a midnight to dawn stint papering Bollywood posters around town. And then he gets burned by the guy who hired him and doesn't get paid. So then he bounces over and he starts selling newspapers. And I think it's over the course of a couple of days. And basically all he's doing is trying to make money for milk because his poor wife is so poor and hungry that she's not producing.
Yeah.
So it's not really a pick-me-up, I would say.
Sounds fun. It sounds really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like kind of a the blockbuster summer hit that you would expect from kind of a black and white Northern Indian drama.
Yeah, about the dire straits of poverty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. In a third world country.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Ocean's 11 meets Grown Ups.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And to be clear, I mean third world, India obviously has different, there's a caste system. So it's not third world, but this sounds like it's very much third world.
Yeah, the caste system is talked about a lot. There's people who I can't remember the lowest caste in India. I know that the Brahmin is the high point. You're a Brahmin, right? Or half Brahmin?
Alas, no.
Oh, you're lowest or second lowest?
I'm not Brahmin. Yeah.
You're definitely not Brahmin. Okay.
Yeah.
But you've stolen valor on the Brahmin caste to get discounts and stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just say I worked with Kamal Hassan, so
Oh, sure. Yeah. You.
India's Tom Hanks.
Right. Well, let's.
They
move
don't
on
need to
from-
know I was just a
Yeah.
PA on that.
Let's move on from that. I didn't know that you worked with him.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That should get you some street cred over there.
It has like mildly impressed random Indians when I've dropped that.
Oh yeah, I would definitely drop that. I might steal that. I might just.
I then tell them that it was maybe the worst. Well, one of the worst experiences filming wise that I had while living in LA. So.
Did you ever see the end product?
No, never happened. Never came out. They
wow.
shot 3 weeks, and they were supposed to shoot. Originally, it was going to be a 4-week shoot. After 1 week, they had to add a whole nother week because of how much they'd blown the schedule in the first week. Always a bad sign.
Yeah.
At the end of 1 week, having to add another 20% to the shooting schedule. Or I guess it was 25%. Yeah, 25%.
The omens were there.
Yeah, 100%. And then at the end of 3 weeks, like with a day left, we were all told, well, tomorrow's the last day. And then he got in like a skiing accident or something, and he was directing, writing, and starring in it. Yeah, to my knowledge, it was never completed after that.
Where was this?
They were always intending to shoot most of it in India, but it was sort of a vanity thing of sorts for him to be able to shoot some of it in America.
Yeah,
to show that you'd arrived,
and probably better skiing.
I think he was not skiing in the U.S. when he was injured.
Maybe he was actually skiing in the Himalayas.
But yeah, he broke his leg. Like it was a pretty bad skiing accident. Not Sonny Bono bad.
Yeah.
Too soon?
No, that's not. We drop a Sonny Bono reference kind of every episode. So
okay, sure. So you were working on the film fest. What else have you been up to? We haven't really talked in like what, a month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, certainly not on mic,
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going back to Japan.
Okay.
End of the month. We'll just say summer.
Sure.
I'll be there in the summer, which is not recommended, really. It's kind of a muggy country during the summer. It is what it is. I'll be going with a friend of the show, Chris Dawson.
Okay.
And he is a Japanese speaker, so it'll be great to kind of have, that advantage. And I've been getting better at it. I would say I'm still going to kind of struggle to explain that I've been robbed by the Yakuza or beaten up by the Yakuza.
Which will happen.
Yeah. I mean, God. I mean, with my back tats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like super antagonistic.
Yeah. Yeah. You're basically baiting them into attacking you.
And you know me, just like my personality, right?
Yeah.
Is
100%.
such a like thumb in the eye of kind of the cultures that I jump into. I really like to stick out.
You're the classic bad American tourist.
Yeah. I like, I'm kind of like that Russian that's like being held in Singapore right now and probably going to be. I mean, let's be honest. I like to disrupt. I like the attention.
Yeah.
I like to disrespect the cultures that I'm in.
You're kind of like an Australian tourist, but without the charming accent that offsets any of the kind of like more aggressive tendencies.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Mr. Bean.
All obnoxious, no charm.
Yeah, Mr. Bean
when touristing.
Fish out of water scenario if Mr. Bean loved cocaine.
Yeah.
And let's not
loved cocaine.
And let's not even suggest that you and I are joking right now. So that this can forever come back to haunt me.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Good. Okay, good. Moving on.
Are you at all worried about being able to get back through customs? I recently went through this. Did
they bring up the Unkind Rewind where we were just like shit talking the election? They're like, what is this?
I mean, I don't know which one that would be.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was one that was like pretty.
I know
close.
there was one that I cut a lot out of the public feed on the
Yeah.
On the audio version.
Yeah.
I definitely, so one of my group chats we've moved over to Signal.
Interesting.
And
intentionally,
I deleted Signal while I was going through, because we were at least going through auto, not through airports. So we were ground.
Okay.
We were ground, but I had to go through 4 different checkpoints.
Jeez, I don't. I mean, I haven't
3.
been up to
No, 4.
Canada. Haven't been up to Canada to kind of know what like normal standard is. So how did this?
Some weren't bad. Like we came through. So like a month ago, we did a trip where we drove through the UP, crossed over to Saint Marie, went to Ottawa, well, Sudbury, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City.
But you're
and then we crossed back over. We came south into Maine in like one of those border checkpoints that seriously, there's like nothing for 30 miles once you get into the U.S. So.
But you're still just having to prove you're an American at these checkpoints, not that you're a quote-unquote good American.
Right. At least for the time being. But they could randomly pull you aside.
Like Jesse Plemons isn't there with a AR-15.
No.
Asking
no. It's not full on Civil War yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe I lucked out. I don't know. I don't know how things are going to be for you coming back.
Yeah, I mean, your wife is still there, but like you're okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would have been fine if they told me I had to stay in Canada. Like,
you had a good time.
Yeah, I like Canada.
A lot of what you do in life can be done from Canada.
Yeah, entirely. Pretty much all of the things that I like, I can do in Canada.
It's your Yankee wife.
Yep.
Your Yankee wife keeping you in the States.
God damn her.
Just losing all the Head Start time you have to get out.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time
but the border checkpoints weren't that bad for me. But I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna delete and reinstall Signal.
Just in case.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not that there's anything super inflammatory, but like that is definitely where we vent about political stuff.
Yeah, you're not glazing Guy Fawkes and plotting on Signal. I know that you do that in person.
Yeah. That would be in person. We've got to have all the blockers, the scramblers, all that.
You go to the warehouse on 3rd.
I'm not reckless.
No. Any more trips for you this year?
We're just doing like this one was kind of rare. We haven't done a bunch of traveling since we've been back. I think the plan is to go to Costa Rica in like February.
Nice.
Or March. But there's nothing between now and then other than like we're going to the cabin, but that doesn't really count. And then
is the Costa Rica
North Shore.
Costa Rica trip, is that scout for like an exit strategy or?
I wish. It'll probably be easier to migrate there. To emigrate there than to Canada. So maybe.
And you know the language in Costa Rica a little bit better than you know Canadian slang.
I watched a lot of Degrassi, Sean. How dare you?
Oh, and didn't you watch Trailer Park Boys?
Oh yeah. So and Shoresy and Letterkenny. Okay. Part of the reason we took the route we did was that it was going through Sudbury, which is where Shoresy takes place.
How are you with that accent though? That's going to be the thing that you can.
I've been living in Minnesota long enough that it really
call people hosers.
Yeah, I can call a person a hoser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put some sting on it.
But yeah, other than like a North Shore thing, I don't think we're really planning on anything between now and the presumed Costa Rica trip.
Well, if you find yourself in Japan in the summer, let me know.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, because occasionally you and I are in the same city and we don't really know it until we touch base.
This has happened more than once.
Yeah. We're like, oh, wait, you're in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we're both in Austin?
That's weird.
We were both in LA too, and
Yeah.
we didn't even get to meet up, right?
No, I don't. You were definitely working on something.
I was working, yeah.
And getting around LA is super easy. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like, hey, I'll swing by in 10 minutes, which I could have been done in Austin for sure.
Yeah, well, sort of. It's
Back in the
still
day.
not as easy as it should be in Austin, but whatever.
But 25 minutes and not 2 hours.
It's worse in Austin now. Like, traffic is markedly worse. We happen to be staying in neighborhoods that were relatively close to one another in Austin. If I was staying south, we probably would have just died.
All right.
Yeah, anyway, what have you been up to other than New York Film Fest? New York Independent Film Fest. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, you have to hit that independent.
Small eye.
I picked up one of the many New York viruses that's going around.
Okay.
That's been fun.
Hantavirus?
It's probably Hanta. Yeah, they didn't test for it, but it's process of elimination.
Yeah.
So
you're going to be the second person to die from it this year?
Well, yeah, but it's weird because like my religion is spider handling.
Yeah.
You'd
be immune.
I do a lot of that at like, revivals.
Sure. Yeah.
I think at this point, considering how many times I've been bit, yeah, it wouldn't come up. It must have been like a really deep bite, or I don't know.
How did you get into arachnotheology or arachnotheism?
I mean, I'd like to say that I found it, as a young man, but I mean, it's so cliche to say. But
was it a Madam Web scenario?
No, one of my parents didn't die in the Amazon.
Okay.
Researching spiders. It was just the religion that you're born into, and again,
Okay.
It sounds cliche.
Yeah, sure.
But like that's what a lot of people kind of adopt. It's just what I knew growing up.
No, is this like Zoroastrianism where where your mother has to have been born a Zoroastrian?
Yeah, she's pure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And they did their tests, of course, on her, before she was allowed in the tent. But yeah, I mean, I it's weird to say, but like I don't know what this life would be like without arachnotheology.
Sure. It's fair.
And frankly, and I've told you this before, I don't want to know.
Yeah. When you're born into such a select few, a group of such a prestigious group, I don't think you'd want to know any different.
And even with your paganism that you've kind of, espoused, you're always invited,
Yeah, sure.
Especially when we have the big gatherings every year.
Well, thanks.
But yeah, I mean, so the Hanta, I think I don't think it's going to stick around for more than a couple months.
Okay.
I'll probably bring it and spread it to Japan.
Okay, sure.
Because
maybe we should try to make sure this episode doesn't go out to Japan.
Yeah, because I probably won't be allowed in if it drops before,
Right.
their customs.
Yeah.
Which is a pain in the ass flight to go there and then get shot down. And then you have to tuck your tail between your legs and, I don't know, go to Korea or something.
I mean, I was going to assume that they would shunt you off to Korea because, of
North
history.
Korea, of course.
Well, I don't think Japan cares either way, which part
Korea?
of Korea they're sending to. Yeah.
I definitely know that if you're talking to South Koreans, you refer to the country as Korea. Just heads up.
Yeah.
You don't do that South thing.
Right.
But yeah, let's see. Game's still going good. Cinequote's doing well. We're kind of up around the 5,000 mark, which is good.
I fucking missed Game 900.
What was it?
I don't know. But I played I play every game, but
but it was a week.
I went over a week because of trip or some nonsense. and I was like out of rhythm, and so I played $8.99 and then couldn't go back to 900, so I played.
Oh
901.
God. I could probably, I could get you the game. I don't know if it would work, but I could get you the game.
Right.
I'm sure it was not any way related to 900, but yeah, we will have a lot of fanfare leading up to Game 1000, which I think is whatever, 2.5 months, 3 months, something like that.
Yeah, probably August or September.
Yeah, we'll do something big for that. Yeah, seen a couple Mets games already, which is fun. It's fun when the team's doing well.
Yeah,
which they are right now. I guess the Yankees are doing well, but whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
Brian's
going to be up here in a month. Our guest Brian.
What's up here mean?
Minnesota.
Okay.
He's coming to the Twin Cities. I know he's going to go to a game on the Thursday. We're not going to be here quite yet. We're going to be coming back from the cabin, and so the first day he's here, he's going to a game there.
It's always good to do like a itinerary for former guests on the show, like where we just go through.
I didn't say what week it's going to be.
No, but we should check in with all prior guests.
Yeah.
Find out what their summer plans
are. So I know
are.
Conan had fun in Japan.
Right. He dodged the Hanta that I'm going to be bringing.
Yeah.
They let him back in.
They did. Yeah. He's been on tour. So West Coast people, I feel like he just wrapped up tour. And by the time this drops, he will have, I believe.
Okay. So you hopefully got a chance to see him, is what we're saying.
No. The Minneapolis shows, I was out of town.
No, not you. The royal you, like our listeners. If you.
Oh yes. The listeners hopefully got a chance to see Conan.
If he came to your town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as I kind of alluded to, I'm still very much a student at the Japanese Society of New York, which is it kind of sucks because it's literally next to a Trump hotel.
Yeah.
It's up by the UN, and there's a goddamn Trump property up there that I don't know why people go to. There's a lot of hotels here. But I really like those people. I really like the teachers. And getting better. I mean, learning a language in your 40s is tough. No joke. So there's no easy button, too, or something like that. It's just the drudgery of repetition.
Sure, you can't just watch B. Takeshi movies.
No, can't watch
be okay.
Sonatine and fireworks.
Takashi Miike.
I think if you watch too many Takashi Miike movies, you won't want to study Japanese. That's presumable. I've seen some crazy Takashi Miike shit.
Same. I've seen probably like a dozen Takashi Miike movies. So.
Yeah. What's the one for you that like? Is it Audition still that like comes to mind as like the embodiment of his aesthetic?
To me, it's probably either Visitor Q or Ichi the Killer.
Ichi, yeah.
The Audition is like more subdued early on than a lot of Takashi Miike is.
I think Ichi is a good representative.
Yeah. I mean, I love, like, 13 Assassins is great.
That feels so, like, off-brand in a lot of ways.
Well, he did that, was Blade of the Immortal or whatever the hell that was called. That one was more in the same vein as 13 Assassins. 13 Assassins is crazy violent.
Absolutely. But
but it's not as extreme in other ways as say Ichi the Killer or Visitor Q, which isn't violent but is
there's some torture
foul
elements certainly too in some of the modern stuff that he does.
Yeah.
That I feel like doesn't come up in the samurai stuff. Like the samurai is just straight up killing. Like sure you get beheaded, but like you're not going to feel that.
But it's at least funny, too.
Yeah, he has a very dark sense of humor.
Yes.
Very, very dark.
Very dark. A strong recommend.
Oh
For
yeah,
anyone who wants to watch. I love
Yeah.
Takashi Miike.
and I'm looking forward to meeting him. I assume I'll just run into him when I'm.
Yeah,
over there.
you guys will hang out.
Yeah, and maybe
Yeah.
I'll pitch coming on the show. You know,
Yeah, that'd be
he's
awesome.
probably
Love to
he's
have
probably
him.
okay. I just wanted to get clearance from you first. That
Oh yeah, and if you see the
that-
guys from Guitar Wolf, ask them if they want to come on too.
okay, yeah, as long as both of us approve a guest.
Yeah, sure, 100%.
Because you said some no's to some pretty big names.
Yeah.
That I've pitched you. We don't want to bring them up right now, but I mean,
Said no to George Clooney.
Kristen Chenoweth knows what she did.
Yeah.
She knows what she did.
Lee Pace. Nope.
Ooh, yeah. God, I remember that. That was I don't know what was going on.
That was a knockdown drag out fight between you and me.
Yeah. But I mean, now that you explain more of like what was happening.
Yeah.
Like backstory.
No, it makes sense.
I just didn't know any of that, when we were talking about having him on.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Oh, so I should say when this episode drops, I think, let me look at the calendar. I think I'll have just been on. Why is my calendar not loading right? Cool. I think I'll have just been on Movie Night Extravaganza talking Jackie Brown.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I think that'll have dropped Tuesday, the 17th, and I believe this episode drops on the 19th. So
You used to be beautiful, man.
So yeah, that's cool. I've got
Now,
Jackie Brown isn't streaming anywhere, so I just bought the Steelbook Blu-ray 4K
Okay.
of it, and
What-
I bought Rum Punch that I'm going to try to read this weekend before I'm on. Also,
Okay, so what is the kind of the unkind rewind question to you on Jackie Brown? When's the last time you saw it?
I saw it like last year.
Okay. So this probably, 5 to 10 times?
Not that many, probably 3 or 4. But
Okay.
I would, since the episode's already come out, I would say that this is probably, Jackie Brown is probably my favorite QT movie.
Really? Okay. I mean, I sucker for pulp. I still like Reservoir quite a bit.
I mean, I appreciate what Pulp is doing, but it's also, like, just runtime wise, it's a half hour longer than I want to be able to sit down for. Maybe, honestly, 45 minutes.
So if you had to break down low tier, mid tier, high tier, where would you put the Kill Bills?
Okay, so I haven't seen Hateful Eight. I just have continued to not watch it.
would. I mean, do you know what I'm going to say?
I would co-sign not watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't seen that. I would say the top tier is probably Jackie Brown, Pulp Fiction, and then maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm.
Mid tier. Mid tier's probably Reservoir Dogs. Kill Bill's got to be bottom tier.
Wow. Okay, I'm definitely higher on both of those for you for Kill Bill.
Maybe the first one. I'm not wild about the second one at all.
So Inglorious.
I think Inglorious goes in that tier with that. I'm not, or well, shit, maybe.
And Django.
Yeah.
What about Death Proof?
Oh, Death Proof is the bottom.
Yeah.
That's the bottom. That's like, I don't even know if that should count. Like, I do not like Death Proof.
I hope you love voiceover when you get to Hateful Eight of Quentin Tarantino's voice.
I mean,
I hope you love it.
you know that I routinely complain about voiceover.
I hope you love hearing Quentin Tarantino throughout that whole movie.
I would not.
Yeah.
Have you watched the longer Netflix version where it's broken into 4 episodes?
Fuck no.
Okay.
I saw that movie on like Christmas
I'm just
Day.
asking because I was hoping that those didn't have VO.
Oh, I'm sure. Look, if he has any say in the matter, I'm sure that he is only amped up the VO. Yeah, I mean that's
So yeah, I think there's a tier of 3. The 3 that I gave. I think Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill Volume 1 are maybe the next tier. And then there's a third, like the C tier would be Volume 2, Django, and Inglorious. And then the last tier would be Death Proof.
Wow, yeah.
By itself.
I mean, his segment in 4 Rooms is better than Death Proof.
Well, especially, like, if you lived in Austin at the time, Death Proof was the most fucking irritating. Like, they're just name-dropping Austin places for cred or some bullshit. It is, the first 20 minutes is unwatchable if you were living in Austin at the time.
Yeah, sounds cringy.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I'll have just talked about my favorite QT movie on Movie Night Extravaganza.
So go over there.
Conan
There's a
and
lot of cross traffic. So
and Christina.
Yeah, if you haven't heard that podcast, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, tons of fun. I was just watching the Sinners episode last night because I had just seen Sinners and I had remained I hadn't taken in any like media about Sinners. Like intentionally, I'd been avoiding it because I wanted to see it.
You like to go in fresh, like like Frank Costanza.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're listening to us now and you're like, God damn it, I'm not getting enough Josh Dugan. Head over to Conan's podcast.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I suppose we should talk about this next one, huh?
Yeah, we should a little bit.
Yeah. Yes. So, we're about to be talking with Gabe Joyner, who is one of the co-hosts of SVU Pod, especially Heinous.
I feel like we've had 100% of the hosts of that show on.
We sure have. For the intrepid listeners, we also had Tasha on back in season 1. That was the second to last episode of season 1.
Talking the craft.
Where we talked about the craft. That was part of our month of bulk.
Yeah, our Bulkstraganza? I don't know what the proper nomenclature is. Bulkapalooza? Yeah, that was the Bulkapalooza. Fruza Bulkapalooza. Yeah. It is funner to say when you add her first name to that.
Yeah, sure, but
I mean, for
marketing purposes, you would leave it off. It's just too much. It's too long
for signage, for sure.
Yeah, for signage. Yeah. If you're making signs, it would be Bulkapalooza.
Yeah. But just in terms of the phone,
and it's also like, do you pronounce it like Thyrusa, which is how you should be pronouncing her name? Yeah. That's how her dad would have pronounced it when he saw her blue eyes.
Which is Turkish, or what is it? Turkish for
I believe
blue?
It's Turkish, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can say it to be, respectful when she's on the show, but I think just Firuza Balkapalooza, I think is perfectly acceptable.
But yes, so we've got Gabe joining us. This one we recorded a while back. And the SVU Pod went on a hiatus for a while, and they just dropped a sort of we may or may not come back episode.
Okay. A tease.
So great timing by us to not drop that when they were still dropping episodes. But they did just drop that. It was probably a week and a half ago.
There is nothing stopping the Unkind Rewind listener from hearing this next interview with Gabe and going back to listen to old.
Which a lot of their fans are actually doing a re-listen while they're not dropping episodes.
Yeah, so like we give you permission to do that. Like we're not.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's a really fun podcast. Obviously, it's a SVU podcast that I am not on, and Munch My Benson is currently still in dropping old episodes that are paywalled while Adam tries to get his grips on being a dad of 2 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're still as of right now still in paternity leave.
Good luck, Adam.
Yeah, good luck.
Seems like an easy job.
But yeah. So Gabe's podcast is great. Gabe's a really fun guest. And I know
fun.
all of the people coming over from SVU Pod are gonna love these 2 episodes.
Yeah, this was a spicy one.
Oh yeah. Now next week I didn't record video.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So next week, if you're one of the YouTube audience, there's just gonna be the one video. There will be a video of me and Sean at the top, but then it will just be the
if you really need video, go to Josh's OnlyFans.
Yeah. Or no, there won't be any video because there's nothing of us at the top. So yeah, next week it'll just be audio only. Apologies,
but I'm just saying if they do need a video of you or me doing our thing.
Yeah, go to seanmcgrathfeet.onlyfans.com or Josh Dugan toes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't show the feet on yours.
Just
and
toes.
I don't show my toes.
Yeah.
So I do heel, sole,
oh, yep.
A little Achilles.
Yep. WikiFeet doesn't know what to do with our feet.
Yeah. I think they're probably just making a composite of like your toes on my feet.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But yeah, so super fun talk with Gabe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
this is a good one. Everybody's seen this.
Yeah. Watch this one and then don't watch the next one because you can't. Just listen.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, without any further ado, Gabe. Welcome, everybody, to another installment of the Unkind Rewind. This week in our Q's and T's episode, we are joining up with Gabe Joyner.
Well said.
I don't know why I said it that way.
We're joining up with Joyner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Gabe, you host an SVU podcast, as do I.
I don't.
Yeah, Sean does not.
Get out of here.
I'm out.
Adam's basically on paternity leave, so
let me just click my leave button here. But
but Gabe, why don't you let the audience know a little bit about yourself?
Me or the podcast?
No, you.
Me? I don't know.
The podcast.
You can also talk about the podcast. Obviously.
That can come up naturally as we find out about you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see. I'm a person. I don't like talking about myself. I'm a tattoo artist in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Perfect.
I have a dog. I'm a swamp goblin, and I have issues with changing my clothes, not in a gross way. I just get stuck in certain clothes.
Literally stuck.
Yeah.
Like your elbow going through a thing.
Yeah.
Like there's a joint issue.
Yeah.
Yep. The ambulance is called on me a lot. Yeah, nothing really cool, just regular person that
I mean, your tattoo, like your Instagram profile, the tattoos all look great.
Oh, thanks.
How long you been a tattoo artist?
Dude, on Halloween, 10 years.
Jesus.
Nice.
I don't know shit about anything either. It's fucking weird. I don't know shit about dick. It's
do people come back to you for multiple tattoos? Like,
yeah,
or is it just? Well, I guess you know something.
Yeah, but they don't know shit about anything either. You know what I mean?
They like you to come back.
I got a good personality. I'll say that.
I mean,
Personality goes a
you're
long
sitting
way.
with someone for a long time. Like, it makes sense that like that has to be kind of part of the equation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have fun.
Is it
I
called
mean,
like a
I'm not
tape?
I'm not the worst tattooer in the world. I'm just not the best. I don't think. No, I'm definitely not. I just don't think I. It's just weird because it's been 10 years and I've been thinking about it a lot. And I'm like, I don't know anything. I just don't know anything.
Is that something that tattoo artists like recognize, like a chairside manner? You know, like that part
Oh,
of the game.
like, yeah,
That
definitely.
that's part of it too. It's not just like the end product. It's like, well,
Yeah, I mean,
this,
some it just depends on how social you are. Like some people wear headphones the whole time and are just like getting the job done.
yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I have clients that we just do not.
Sure.
I have nothing to say. We can't.
Mhm.
I mean, yesterday I had a client that it was so fun. At the end, I was like, "Do you want to be friends in real life?" And she did that like praying mantis hand thing, and she was like, "I would love that." And we got phone numbers, and we'll be friends probably for the rest of our lives.
Nice.
Right.
So, I mean, there was a client last week from Australia that I tattooed, and at the end of the tattoo, we were hugging for no reason. And she left, and I was just like, maybe they'll come visit, and we'll get bunk beds, and we'll have a fire. And then she came back 5 minutes later, and she's like, I didn't pay you. Like we were just so lost, and like,
Uh,
and I'm like,
yeah.
I wonder how many times I fucking done that, and people haven't like, you know. But everybody's different.
Yeah.
So
Um, were you surprised when you started how much of it is kind of first aid?
first
Because you're
aid.
cleaning up a lot of blood, right?
Oh no, I wasn't surprised. I mean, I had been getting tattooed before that. I
Okay,
before I
okay.
was a tattooer, yeah. No.
Cleaning up a lot of blood is part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a lot. It's not
But
like
It's more
there's
than you
blood.
think. Yeah.
There's blood. There's like, you know, certain ways you clean up your station.
Because it's a
Seeing hand,
needle
burying hand.
going into someone's skin a lot.
It's several needles. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Not many people do single needle tattoos anymore.
Mm.
But I mean,
Many times.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that you can't even put a counter on that. Although that should be that would be great to have like a
There's
little
some
dial.
there's some videos you can watch of it slow, like
What it's
wildly
doing
slowed
slow
down.
motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I can watch the slow motion like a dog drinking water from a bowl in super slow motion.
Oh my God, what's
That
so crazy about that is their tongues aren't the dog. It's backwards.
yeah.
It's like scooping in backwards.
Yeah,
It's
and it's like
so weird.
throwing water into
Yeah.
its mouth through a tongue.
Like, how do you survive? How have you survived like that?
I know.
You know?
They're dogs are
Uh,
magic. Dogs are magic.
Yeah.
so you obviously you live in the Madison area now. Have you always lived there?
No, I grew up north, like until I was like 10. We have
What's
some
north of Madison?
like Canada.
Yeah.
No, it's do you know where Lake Superior? Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
Like an hour south of that, on the kind of
Okay.
like Minnesota border.
Like you can get super specific.
Oh, like it's just called Spooner.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, sick.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's,
grew up in La Crescent, so I and Sean grew up in Roseville in the Twin Cities. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
we're both upper Midwesterners for the most part.
Yeah. So
We
you
both moved around as young kids also, but like, you know.
Yeah.
Josh
Yeah,
is
I've been-
more Heartland blood than I do.
Mm-hmm. Heartland. Yeah.
Well,
I
'cause
mean, sure. Iowa, yeah. But I didn't
Kansas.
live in I didn't live in the
Oh.
town that I lived in until I was in 6th grade. Like that was the town that I went to high school. I didn't live there until I was 12.
Yeah.
Josh
so then
is-
did your
Josh
family
is
move to
less-
Madison from Spooner or
They moved to some Prairie, which is like a little
Sure,
kind of a
yeah.
suburb of Madison.
Mhm.
That's where I went to high school.
okay.
Yeah, and then I lived here, and then I was out in Colorado for I don't know 5 years or something. So, and then
We're in Colorado.
it started off in Fort Collins. Then it was like northern Denver. Then it was
Okay.
Arvada. Then it was downtown Denver. Then for a fucking minute I was in Pueblo.
How was Pueblo?
Fucking awful. There was like this
Okay.
guy that I liked,
Okay.
and ugh. And he was so blonde. I don't like blonde people. Like, especially men. Like, grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up
Get
and get some
darker hair.
Yeah, like what are you doing? And he had big blue eyes and blonde hair. I don't know what my problem was. And just gross.
Yeah.
And so I went down there and it was like terrible. And then where else did I go? Then it was back to Fort Collins for a while. And at the time I had everything that I could fit in my car.
Okay.
So, and I worked remotely. So I was like just coming back and forth from Madison. And I was like, my friends were like, come for the summer. And I fucking stayed. Now I'm stuck here. Oh, it's so gross.
I just want to say to the blonde men listening to this that you guys,
You're trash.
You're, you're good enough. Like you're enough.
Yeah.
Okay, you're enough. Gabe might hate you, and just has like a very like no blonde men policy to tattoo.
Ugh.
Like it's at the door, like when you come in.
Yeah.
No shirt, no shoes, no
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 blonde.
blondes.
blonde. Like, don't even like look at the ground if you walk by. I'm just kidding. But like a blonde beard, grow the fuck up. Grow up.
I mean,
So you obviously also, as I mentioned, have an SVU podcast. Do you want to talk about that at all?
Oh yeah. It's super fun. It's me and my best friend Tasha, who's the light of my life. She and me, also known as we,
Uh-huh.
have this podcast where we recap episodes of Law and Order SVU consecutively, mind you. So we're good for a while.
Yeah.
And we do the episode, we recap it. It's comedy, not like making fun of
Yeah.
victims and shit. It's like,
Sure.
you know, God, I was on Tinder once, I know, and this guy was like, "What kind of podcast?" I'm like, "Law and Order SVU," and he was like, "What? That's fucked up." And I was like, "No, it's funny." He blocked me.
wow.
Yeah, we never even met or anything. I was like, "What do you think I'm talking about on this?"
Probably some blonde guy.
That's major blonde guy energy right
Ugh.
there.
Big time. Big time.
Puke. Yeah, so we recap episodes, and then at the end, Tasha does a true crime chaser, which is she tries to find what the episode was inspired by or is like similar in content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because not
It's super
everyone's
fun.
ripped from the headlines, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
I don't
super
envy
fun.
her for having to do that part.
Yeah, at first we were gonna like go back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not good enough. I'll say with that. You know, she's really like, and I'm like, oh my God, I saw this fucking thing and it was like way crazy,
Mhm.
you know, and it wouldn't be anywhere near what it is if she didn't do it. And she
Sure,
gets a
she's-
boner doing it. She loves it.
She's like research oriented, and you're more like experiencing the thing. Is my guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like if I'm gonna hyper focus on something, it's gonna be like my brain doesn't work. It hyper focus. I couldn't force myself to focus on something that,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just, I don't know.
No, the true crime aspect of like when they're ripping from the headlines is often so bleak that you're just like, oh God, I don't want to be in this headspace either.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
how do
She's
you
really-
like
she's
podcasting
really
about
good at it.
SVU?
it's fun. I don't like I like the recording part of it with Tasha.
Mm-hmm.
The taking notes
Yeah.
and all that shit fucking drives me nuts. You know, but
Oh, I know.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Some weeks I'm like, should we just quit? She's like, yeah. Of course not. Like when we had our we did a live thing once at that bar I ran into you.
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
Which
We
was so
we
weird.
randomly met one time in Madison.
It was so
Uh,
weird.
Yeah, I was like, because I mean, you're there's like a drawing of you in all of your podcast artwork, but it's drawing, and so I was like, I mean, I'm in
wasn't-
Madison, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's Gabe, but like,
I wasn't fucking around about my clothes stuff. Like I am a cartoon character. Like I wear the same. People are like, oh, that's Gabe.
yeah.
You
But
know?
I mean, you also have tats, obviously, and so I was like, I knew you were a tattoo artist, and so then I was
Mhm.
like, okay, well, I verified on Instagram quick, like. I didn't want to
Mhm.
walk up to you randomly and be like, are you this person? And they'd be like, who the fuck are you talking about? So I did a quick like journey to your Instagram while I was sitting at the table in that bar.
But I also don't have like pictures of myself up there either.
Sure. No,
You have
no,
to,
no,
like,
no,
scroll
no.
way down.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was able to confirm my suspicion that it was you.
Yeah.
And randomly said hello. Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird because I thought you were just gonna be like a random like, oh, are you Gabe?
Yeah.
Like, do you tattoo whatever,
Sure, tattoo person. Yeah.
And then I go like, oh yeah,
So-
let me hear
so-
your ideas.
Gabe, for somebody who's not a hardcore SVU watcher, what defines kind of a perfect SVU episode for you?
Stabler's ass getting thrown around a bunch.
Okay,
Um,
that's Maloney
yes.
for our
Christopher
people who don't
Maloney.
know.
Yep,
Okay,
Christopher Maloney
so getting physical.
getting physical. Dude, honestly, when they just get into some dumb shit and it's so like they'll have a whole forensic team there and they never find anything, but Benson will just like trip over. Oh my god, I found this fucking box of condoms in a or whatever, and you're like the whole like CSU was there for hours.
This bloody lead pipe.
Yeah, I found this
That
quarter.
no
This
one
must be-
found.
Yeah,
One of these detectives found it, not one of the 70 other cops who have been in this room.
yeah. God,
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
one where there was a straight up like neon yellow, like rain poncho, kind of under a branch.
Mhm.
And Benson was like, "Oh my god!" And CSU had been there, like, "We didn't find anything," and I'm like, what? Like where it's just so ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
come on. And
So the
like,
clunky writing is like a bit of a thrill for you,
it's
or
my
like
favorite.
it's an endorphin.
Yeah, the like '90s or the early 2000s, like, it's just terrible. It's great. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always
You're-
call that shit. Oh, Jeremy must be in the writing room. We call him Jeremy Wolf. Like, what's that guy's name? Who
Dick Wolf.
Jesus. Dick Wolf's like nephew needed a job, so he like
Yeah.
gets to go.
So it's a fictitious
Yeah.
nephew,
Yeah.
nepotistically hired,
Yeah.
and just being like, what if
Exactly.
what
Yeah.
if Benson just like pulls a paper out of a notebook and it's the exact piece of evidence they need,
That's exactly what happens like every episode.
and they're like, good one, Jeremy. Let's go with
Yeah.
that. Please tell your uncle not to fire us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like, well, I'm gonna go on a Disney cruise now, or whatever the fuck he's always doing. We got a whole thing.
Okay,
But we're
you
here
have
to-
a whole life for Jeremy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeremy's for sure a Disney adult.
Yeah.
Gabe,
Uh-huh.
luckily today you don't have to talk too much about SVU.
Right.
Cool.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can podcast about something else. So, oh shit, I don't have your. Well, I know what movie we're doing. You sent a list with a ton of options.
Mhm.
It took Sean and I probably like, I don't know, 20 texts and 5 or 6 emails back and
There was
forth
a
to
lot
decide
going
on what
back
we're
and
gonna do.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So Gabe doesn't know.
Gabe does not know.
Okay. But I can give
Am I gonna have to guess what it is? Are you guys gonna do, like...
No. We'll
Oh.
tell you. We'll tell you. I mean, if you want to guess, go for it. But
yeah,
I do
like what would
kinda-
be what
I
just
do
throw
kind
it-
of want to guess.
throw it a
Like,
guess.
okay.
No, I mean you have to give me a hint. And then I
Sean,
go,
give her a
is it?
Well, I feel like the hint's going to be super obvious.
Should we can give a decade maybe?
Yeah, we can give a decade.
It's a 90s movie.
90s movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Come on, you guys. Cool.
There were some 80s movies on yours.
Fuck, I don't even remember what I put in on there. Never mind, just tell me.
Okay.
One tiny hint, even if it's obvious.
Josh?
I can't
just
think
tell
of
her.
one because I haven't seen the movie in so long.
No, I think we should let Gabe know.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah. Fried green tomatoes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember liking this remember liking this movie a lot as a kid, but I have not seen it since, I don't know, 92
been a
or so.
while.
It was
Yeah.
a fierce discussion though. It
Yeah.
was really
Yeah, there were a lot of we
went back and forth a lot. But I
Right,
think Fried Green Tomatoes, for Josh and I, definitely was a movie that everybody saw in the span of like 4 months
Mm-hmm.
in the early 90s, and people talked about it. There were like memes before there were memes. We can get into specifics later, but like fried green tomatoes was a neutron bomb in terms of like widespread.
Yeah,
I would say
everybody saw it.
everybody saw fried
Was it a
green
book
tomatoes.
first or no?
I have no idea.
Me either.
We'll find that out next week.
Okay.
But like Josh, I was I was one of the masses. I saw fried green tomatoes, but it has been 30
plus years, yeah.
Yeah.
So Gabe, relatively briefly, and this will probably be brief because I don't remember what the movie's about.
Yeah.
What do you remember the plot of Fried Green Tomatoes being?
Oh my god. I've watched it so many times. So it's like Kathy Bates, right? She's kind of in this like interesting spot in her life where she's like sort of unhappy-ish. She's got this like weird husband. He's not weird, he's nice. But she starts doing things to like make herself feel better, and she like goes to this retirement home, I think to see her husband's mom, who's a total cunt, and like kicks her out of the room all the time. And she like comes across this like old lady, and this old lady starts telling her stories about her life, and then she ends up coming back and like getting involved with this lady and hearing these stories, and it goes back to like the lady, like it
flashes back.
Yeah. And I just remember Kathy Bates. There's a scene where she was like trying to dress sexy for her
I know what you're gonna say. I know what
with
you're
a
gonna
saran wrap. She makes a saran wrap dress, but it's like an 80s like a big bow, and like he's like, "What are you doing?" You know. And she goes to some girl group and she looks at her vagina in a hand mirror. I remember that. I remember Tawanda.
Oh, did not remember that.
Tawanda. Oh yeah.
I remember the name. I have no frame of reference for what that is anymore.
I think the older lady like used that. She called that her like. I think it was her like alter ego, like Tawanda.
Okay.
And I remember Kathy Bates was at a grocery store and was gonna park, and then these like hot girls in a convertible take the spot. And she's like, "Excuse me," and they're like, "Face it, we're hotter and younger," or whatever. And then she fucking yells Tawanda and like crashes their car or something like that a bunch. These are just like little things that I kind of remember. I kind of remember a lot, I think.
That's way more than I remember.
Yeah. Kathy Bates at a midlife or a juncture in her life where she's looking for reason or purpose, develops a friendship with a woman in a senior citizen home, and then we start to see the stories that this old woman is saying by going through flashbacks, and then maybe lessons are learned. Essentially,
but she's like telling Kathy Bates the story of this person she knows, but you kind of figure out throughout it that it was actually her.
Gotcha.
You know, and she's like Iggy. What's her name? Iggy. I don't know. She's really good at like getting honey from bees. I remember like bee honey.
Gabe, this sounds a lot like you just woke up from a dream.
It feels like it.
Yeah. And you're like there's like a woman in saran wrap and Iggy.
She's like screaming about this person named
There's
Tawanda.
a car. They're screaming at a car, and then there's like honey and the bees. This is great. Yeah, this is exactly why we don't tell you the movie ahead of time.
Well, and you're saying that you'd watched a bunch of the other ones like 100 times or whatever. That tends to have me be like, okay, well, maybe we don't do that one. Just because I want the like the sort of like, oh wait, this is what the movie was, the sort of revelation for you as the guest. Like I think that stuff is super fun. So yeah.
Ooh, I remember what's her face gets pregnant and her fucking shit husband kicks her down the stairs and then they kill him. Is
that Daryl Hannah?
No,
you'll see.
Okay.
The Whistle Stop Cafe. That's right.
And it was a book, so I do know that.
Oh,
the whole title was Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. So ding, ding, ding. You remember that aspect of it.
The train cutting off that guy's leg. No, her son's leg.
This is all still part of the dream. It's just like these little moments that are like flittering through your mind right now. Josh has some specific questions, though. We're gonna try
Yes.
to walk you through.
So how old were you when Fried Green
No
Tomatoes
idea.
was a fixture of
Oh.
your youth?
I don't know.
Like, do you remember the first time you saw it?
Hold on a second. There's neighbors. Hey, Lou. Hi. When did it come out?
91?
Let's see. So I was like 9. No, wait. Yes, that's math. 9. I don't know, around there.
I'm assuming you didn't see it in the theater and you saw it like when it was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So this was a video, or came on TV, or do you remember going to the video store and grabbing it? So it's just part of. Do you think you saw it through the family, something that you would have rented on your own?
No, I'm sure my mom rented it or something. Which is
Okay.
kind of weird because we grew up like real Christian, so we didn't get to like watch a lot of like secular shit. But I suppose
Mhm.
this is when my parents were like coming out of that.
Is this something that would have needed to be pre-screened, or do you think that you were there when they were seeing it for the first time?
I don't know. I could text my mom.
For next week,
I
maybe.
could call
Yeah,
her.
text for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to see what she remembered, if she remembers anything about it.
Yeah.
But you
it's a
did
little-
say that you watched it a lot, though.
Yeah, it's like just a good movie. I've seen it a bunch.
Was that
Did you guys have it
because-
on video?
No.
Okay.
So
Like, as
that
an
meant
adult,
going.
too.
That meant
Yeah.
going to the video store, right?
I don't know.
Or
Yeah.
so either you, if you didn't own it, you were going back and re-renting it, or it was just part of TV, like maybe cable or something.
Probably that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you had movie
I was like-
channels.
It was like, ooh. Well, no, we didn't have movie channels, but they had commercials and stuff.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
what is it
Yeah, you were
called?
watching a
What's that?
TV edit like TBS, or did you guys have cable growing up, or just like the antenna channels?
Half and half. My
Okay.
parents came into more money a little bit later, so you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
were
they
like,
robbed a
"Let's-"
bank when you were like 12, and
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hold on, I'm gonna take a note. Ask mom about.
How long do you think it's been since you've seen it?
15, 20 years maybe.
Okay.
But for some reason that movie, like, I think about it a lot. It like sticks in my brain. You know?
What do you think it was about it that appealed to you?
I think because I related so much to that little Iggy fucking chick, whatever her name was, Iggy. It was Iggy. Yeah.
And is that
Okay.
Mary Stuart Masterson? I think maybe. It's one of the two.
That's Tasha's game. I don't know names.
We'll
I know
find
that
out.
she was in an episode of SVU.
Law and Order?
recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a recurring like doctor or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
was like,
that
chick
would be
looks
Mary
familiar."
Stuart Masterson, because we just saw her in an episode.
And then the other one was that chick from Weeds who does not age.
Parker, right?
Yeah,
Mary-Louise
Mary-Louise
Parker.
Yeah.
So women with 3 names.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big part of this movie, except for the older ones.
Oh, weird. Sorry, I'm looking at the cast list. for a
What
second.
were some of the favorite movies of young Gabe, aside from Fried Green Tomatoes? Like, what was the world that you were living in that you, like, if we asked Gabe what top 5 movies would have been?
In the like
In
it
that
depends on-
era.
Like when you were growing up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if teen years.
Sure, teen years. Yeah.
Like Tank Girl was probably one of my all-time favorite movies. I wanted to be Tank Girl. Fucking SLC Punk I watched a bunch, but that was a little bit later, I suppose. 19 I watched Evil Dead, and then that was a whole spiral into
Sure.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Fuck. Young Gabe? I don't know. I was Blue Lagoon, dude. Oh
Okay.
my god. For some reason we had Blue Lagoon at our house, and I was just like,
In a Christian household?
yeah, I don't know why it was there.
We'll have to
Um,
unpack that a little bit.
Yeah. And I watched the fuck out of that because I was just like,
Look.
I mean,
both
ah,
kids.
And
We were
Josh,
both kids. We saw Blue Lagoon.
there is
Like-
something very Adam and Eve about that movie.
Mhm.
yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what is my body doing? Let's figure it out together. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's figure it out together, you guys. You know?
Yeah, it's way less creepy to watch it then than
Yeah,
it is
now
like
yeah.
I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, Blue Lagoon was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Oh,
But
That's probably
but
why it was allowed.
I've maybe it wasn't. I mean,
oh my God, and Far and Away. Far and Away was my
Okay.
jam.
okay.
I had this this is embarrassing. I had this crush on Tom Cruise, but I know it was my first crush where it felt like I could teeter on over into obsession and like psychotic, like,
Yeah,
and I was like young, and I
you
was
wanted,
like,
Yeah.
you
this
wanted
is-
to take a peek under that bowl.
that dude. Oh my God, I have like full body chills right now. I cannot believe you just said that.
Yeah.
I was literally talking about the sound that the bowl made on his skin when she lifted it up.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
seeped into my body. I remember it to this day.
Mhm.
Sorry about that.
Got to take a look. Had to take a peek. She was gonna marry the guy. She had to check the merchandise.
Whoever did that with who are those people that makes the noises in the side, in the background?
Foley.
That
Foley
person
artist,
should
yeah.
have gotten an Oscar or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we should actually check to see who won.
They probably have a lifetime achievement award.
Oh, for just that, like,
Yep.
like
like the cellophane off of a fruit roll up.
Uh-huh.
Also, she wasn't gonna marry the guy. She stabbed him in the leg. 'Cause he
No,
was-
but Kidman was gonna marry Cruz.
Oh, that's right. She did. That's where the movie that they met.
No, they met on Days of Thunder the year
Oh.
before.
Right, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was Far and Away was the first one where they're actually a couple though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the like, him with the Irish accent and the fighting and like
The bare knuckle boxing, yeah, of
Oh,
course.
man.
Well, that'll be the next time you come back.
Yeah.
I think I was a horny little kid, dude. Honestly.
I mean, who wasn't though? Like
yeah, you're right.
I
should've
mean,
been more.
we both found ways to see Blue Lagoon, you
Mhm.
know, like, and the only reason, like, that was certainly one that we considered because, like, frankly, it's just less creepy if it's a female guest than a male guest.
Yeah, and-
like, I don't want to
Yeah.
do Blue Lagoon with a male guest. Like,
And listener, before we started recording, we were talking about the breasts of an animated chicken. Just heads up.
Yeah. I'm making another note right here. My mom, why did we have Blue Lagoon in the house?
Don't make sure it's not an accusatory question when you
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah, we'll have to find out a little bit about this.
I'll say thank you. Thank you though.
Yeah.
But I think Fried Green Tomatoes was, I mean, there's a lot of heavy stuff in it, and like
lot.
from my memory, there's a lot going on in that movie. There's a lot of adult themes. So yeah, it is going to be interesting to know how that kind of passed the goalie in young Gabe's life that you were
Mhm.
able to see it, because I'm
Yeah.
sure that there are movies that maybe you can recall that you weren't able to see at that age that you wanted to. What was it? Sex? Was it violence? Was it language? Was it
All that shit, you know.
Okay.
Was PG-13 generally gonna slide by though?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I think
I
PG-13 is
doubt
different
it.
than it was.
I don't think PG-13 slides by easily in a heavy.
Oh,
Christian.
I was just hypothesizing as to
Yeah.
why this might, because this was PG-13 if I remember correctly.
But I mean, my
Um,
parents kind of fucked up with that shit because like they rented Watership Down one time when we were kids, not
Okay.
knowing,
Sure.
you know, and we were all like, you know, and they were like, and I remember them being like, oh my God, like, and turning it
Yeah.
off. And I was like, I have to see more, you know. And my mom let me watch Of Mice and Men with her, and I cried for like 2 days straight.
That's heavy
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, why do they have to? I just wanted to pet the rabbits. You know, my mom was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know, so
So what memories do you have that stick out most about Fried Green Tomatoes?
just Idgy, just being like a little ragtag kid and playing baseball and like not wanting to wear dresses and you know those fucking airplanes. Just her like doing her own shit, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And her friendship with this lady,
Yeah.
you know. And
Now,
the killing of the husband and the barbecuing him and serving him.
Sure,
food.
sure.
Yeah.
Now you said in the emails back and forth that this was sort of like an awakening for you. Do you want to talk about that
Awakening?
at all? Yeah,
An
you talked
awakening?
that it was a sexual awakening, kind of.
Fried green tomatoes?
Yeah,
Are you sure I talked about that, or was I talking about
Talking about the
literally?
bowl.
it was other things too, but there
Oh,
was something
boy.
about fried green tomatoes.
Um.
Uh, I mean, it's fine if
Oh,
you.
I guess a little bit because there's a little bit of like a little bit of a like a lesbian undertone to the
Mhm.
friendship. Um, that I did. I kind of was like, you can do that. You know what I mean?
Sure. Right, right.
Um, but that's hard to like.
Hard to pin down. It's more like a subconscious thing, maybe.
Yeah, it was probably just like that time in my life where you're just figuring out. It felt a little like, are they gonna kiss at
Mhm.
any moment? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah,
like,
like any scene with Benson and Cabot.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was something cooler about it
SVU
being
reference.
yeah. But it's something cooler about it being like two chicks for me at the time, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
So,
And
And
I'd
they're
imagine, given your like growing up in a Christian household, like you were probably a little bit sheltered from that, especially in the era.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
there is in Fried Green Tomatoes too that definite um like demarcation between one character being like follow the path
Mm-hmm.
and like don't even I mean there's no possibility in any world for a non heterosexual relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that like the tomboy and the bad girl, the bad
Mm-hmm.
boy,
Mm-hmm.
pushing boundaries and like I could see like a young person like finding kinship in one of those two characters, either the one that's like, oh, I know this path I'm supposed to follow. This is the playbook. My parents have told me how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then there's like the temptation, not maybe even on a sexual level, but like the temptation just to stray,
Mm-hmm.
temptation
Yeah.
to not follow a playbook.
And I remember like always my whole life being like, I wanted to be like the one girl that was like, I do this and this and this. I've always wanted to like be like that, but I just never could. It turns out I'm fucking diagnosed ADHD with a little touch of autism. And I'm not saying that like because everybody's like, oh, I'm ADHD,
Sure, sure, sure.
like it's diagnosed,
Mhm.
and it just makes a lot of sense why I've just never been able to do the things that I'm supposed to
Right.
do it in the way I'm supposed to do it.
Mhm.
So I related to both of them in a lot in fucking brain. I related a lot to both of them, as in like I felt like I was the itchy person, but I wanted to be like that chick.
Okay, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that makes sense.
Hmm. Absolutely. Um, what expectations do you have for your return to Fried Green Tomatoes?
A good time, man. It's gonna be a
Okay.
good watch. I'm excited. It's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, more more than I think most of the movies we've done, I'm actually expecting to like this from a filmmaking standpoint too. Like I
Yeah.
think this will probably hold up, but I have no idea.
Yeah. It's that see those ones are like hard because they flash back to a time when like it's like expected to say and be like racist or homophobic because it's taking place in that time frame, so
Right.
it's like it holds up.
Hmm.
You know what
Sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
But I bet you it's gonna. We could be surprised though, because that's
Yeah,
how
it could
always
be.
is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This will be the time that I have like the expectation of it being good, and oh man,
Yeah,
this will douse my hopes too.
yeah.
Do you have
There's
any
a lot of
expectations,
like,
Sean?
It'd be a rarity. I remember like as a kid, I remember this being a good movie. Like full
Okay.
stop.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But I mean,
again, we always like, we talk about like, oh, you were just a kid, like your whole barometer was fucked up back then. So who knows what was really good, what wasn't. Like that can happen, but like
Mm.
I've been really surprised on just personal, just me level when I really liked something as a kid, remember liking it, revisiting it and being completely disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Like I generally have kind of felt like my assessment as a kid has generally held true. That's just where
That's
I'm at.
just you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember liking it as a kid. I'm gonna say if I had $5, I'd put it on liking this movie again.
Yeah. There's a lot of like it's obviously a lot of like feminism and stuff, and like her
Yeah.
being like saying like learning to say no to her husband and like doing things for
Mhm.
herself. But that can also be like things for yourself is like getting skinny or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
I
It'll
think
just be a like like problematic, like body image wise or
Yeah.
something. Like, yeah.
I think that we're all gonna like it, but maybe feel a little guilty about it at the end, or
Okay.
something. Like
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
there
Yeah.
might be spots where we're like, "Oof," but I still like it. It's still a classic,
Sure.
you know.
Sure. 33 years can change a lot of fucking things. Like
Mhm.
the society's sort of, way that it views things has evolved like pretty considerably since 1991.
Right. What if we hate it? What if we're like, "Ugh, what a
That's
snooze
Oh, it's
fest."
possible.
Gabe, that's the
Yeah.
magic of Unkind
Yeah.
Rewind. What if we hate it? Which is like it's like the subtitle to this podcast.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
if we hate it? That's the
Yeah, that
risk
could-
that you're taking. We have asked
Yep.
you to put your chips on the table and come revisit this part of your youth, and it could very well happen.
Yeah.
There are things that could be reaffirmed for you. There are things that shatter your innocence of this time. But
Mhm.
that's why we make you sign the waiver.
Yeah. I need a good shattering, so it's fine.
Yeah.
That's
So where can our listeners find you on the internet, Gabe?
on Instagram, I'm at Gabe Joyner. Not even
And
like
that's with a
tattooing
Y,
or-
right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Get Joiners with a Y. Sorry, there's no Y in Gabe.
yeah,
There could be. No, it's actually
But there
good.
isn't.
But
that's
there
how
isn't.
that's how my neighbors pronounce it. Let's see. And then the podcast is at SVU Pod. Oh my god, these fucking F-35s, I think.
Oh, okay. It's like aircraft. It's like military aircraft.
Yeah, we have a little like
Okay.
air base
Sure.
thing where um
Okay, so SVU Pod.
hold on.
Or are you out
Yeah.
waiting them out?
I'm
Okay.
just waiting because it's
Yeah.
gonna be. I saw.
I
him
can't
turning.
hear him.
You can't.
No.
Okay, good. Yeah, and then the podcast is at SVU Pod everywhere. I think if you just Google my name, I'll pop up and stuff too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's kind of. I don't think there's a lot of Gabe Joyners out there, so
There
it's
are
not
surely
like-
more than none.
it's not like Joe Smith or anything. You know what I mean?
Sure. Or Josh anything. Yeah.
Josh. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. Thanks, Mom and
Oh.
Dad. Or Sean McGrath, honestly. There are like a million Sean McGraths.
Mostly in Ireland.
Mostly in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Gabe, thank you for joining us this week and
Sure thing.
next week, obviously, where you will be fully opening up your childhood to the possibility of ruination through the Unkind Rewind.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
We're so glad to have you.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good one. I
I think it is too. Yeah.
I do have high hopes,
Yeah.
which I don't.
Which
know.
I don't think Sean's ever said.
No, no. God help
Anybody-
us.
Does anybody have any other questions I should ask my mom about this that I can think of about the when? Did it-
I would like just kind of a general, if she had a general rule about what movies you could see if things needed to be watched beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
What was her like barometer for a movie that you could see? That's really fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is maybe the first one where we've had like multiple questions to ask other people.
To ask my mom. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm not even gonna ask my dad because he'll be like, "Oh, we did all that." He doesn't remember shit, so
Yeah.
he thinks he's done stuff that he hasn't done. It's like, or if I'm like, "Remember when you did this?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Yeah."
Kids remember.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I live with someone who doesn't remember anything, so it's fun.
Yeah.
He can get away with a lot.
No. Shockingly, no.
Shocking, yeah.
Remembers that
It's
stuff.
it's a constant like point of contention where
Remembers
we're
nothing
always
but
like,
everything.
yes, yeah, like
Yeah.
no, this is absolutely how it happened, and it needs to like I need to be able to find like proof.
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
you need CCTV running, dude.
Yeah. For 25 years.
Yeah.
Super grainy, and then you like bring it back up. You're like, that's not me.
That's a deep
some
fake.
kind of SVU shit. Like,
Yeah.
Like, oh, you found
where
this
you can
quarter?
zoom in way better than you should ever be able to zoom in. Like it's early
Yeah.
SVUs so much that.
or not at all. It's like
Yeah.
you can't have like they're like enhance, and you're like, oh my god, they have a pimple, and then you're like, I don't know who that is. That's who's that? It could be an alien. It could be the thing from fucking Science walking across. You're like, what? I found this quarter in a field, but I can't figure out what your fucking eye color is. Weird. All right.
Well, Gabe, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to watching this and getting back together next week.
We'll
Yeah,
see you on the
thanks for
other
having me.
side, Gabe.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, guys.
That was another installment of the Unkind Rewind, mining our childhood for content, one film from a guest's past at a time. Unkind Rewind is a Munchcasts production and can be listened to wherever you download your podcasts and watched on the Unkind Rewind YouTube channel. Music for this and every other episode of Unkind Rewind was composed by Divorcio Suave. Rate, review, like, and subscribe to Unkind Rewind on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and Good Pods. Links to all of our social media accounts are in our show notes, but you'll find us as at Unkind Rewind Pod on Letterboxd and nearly every social media platform, all of which can be found at our website, unkindrewind.com. If you have a question, concern, complaint, or feedback, you can email the podcast at unkindrewindpod@gmail.com or call into our call-in line, area code 507-479-6440, and leave a message that can be played on air. Fans should join the Munchcast Discord to discuss this or any other episode of the Unkind Rewind with like-minded people. This dialogue may just make it into a future episode of the pod. The Unkind Rewind Patreon will be coming soon, so start squirreling that pocket change away. Thank you for listening to the Unkind Rewind.